Reality is a tricky mistress. We are so sure of what we think we know what we've been taught. Did you know that for decades people thought the dodo bird was a mythical creature? In the 1700s, no one had ever seen one except the sailors who claimed to have hunted them to extinction. But then one day, stuffed specimens from the previous century were found in storage in attics and basements of museums. Suddenly, we were all believers. But what if those specimens had never been found? The scientific community would have gone on believing for eternity that the dodo was merely a fable. They would have missed something. So take this question with you as you go from here, future anthropologists. What else is the scientific community missing? As Monarch continues to tear through the crossbow forces, the general demands to get any sort of intel from Dalton that could help them turn the tide of battle. But unfortunately, Dalton has no idea on how to stop Monarch. His only hypothesis is that Monarch clearly is from another world, and being on Earth only seems to make him faster, tougher, and stronger in every way. Inside of the facility, Alistair continues to amplify his threat of dropping the Moab strikes on the city if Michi doesn't help him open the portal to heaven. But Michi, at this point, really tired of repeating herself, shouts back at Alistair, "I've never opened a portal before, and even if I knew how, there is no God, there is no heaven to open a portal to." She also promises that if he lets her go, she won't rough him up too bad. And Alistair responds, "Ignorant child, I've told you my story, you've heard Monarch's testimony," as he frees her, once again explaining what to do in order to open the portal and demanding that she opens the portal to heaven, else he will turn the city to ash. Michi voices her concern on what if, just like those sci-fi stories, she accidentally opens a portal to some alternate reality populated by zombies, or even if she accidentally opens a portal to hell instead. But Alistair is confident based on what Monarch has said, as well as if the scriptures are indeed true, there is no need to worry about those possibilities. So when Michi finally decides to cooperate and actually will the portal into existence, just as he told her through the power of the Omni tool, to which both of their surprise, she actually opens a portal to heaven itself. With Alistair exclaiming, "Yes, yes, at long last, no more sorrow, no more pain, and I did it my way. Do you hear me? My way." Immediately commencing the next phase of his plan, telling all his followers and soldiers to retreat back to the facility and rally at the portal as they ascend to heaven, with Monarch telling the soldiers to go as he holds off the crossbow forces. In front of the portal, all the members of the Ascension are celebrating with Alistair for his long-awaited accomplishment of actually opening the portal to heaven, stating he will deliver them to eternal life in paradise just as he promised. However, this is the heaven we're talking about. The heaven that is a dwelling place of God and his angels. Not just the angels that sing for all eternity before him, but also the angels who he has equipped for war and to guard. Out of the portal, seemingly to everyone's surprise, emerges a seraphim with two flaming blades in hand and a stern warning. "This realm is guarded. You shall not enter in. Cease and you will be spared." Alistair, so embellished in his desire to get to heaven without the need for God, commands his men to open fire on the seraphim, who just continue to walk towards them as all their bullets curved past it, warning them to cease and be spared. But Alistair does not take heed and decided to defy the seraphim's warning, shouting "never," which turned out to be his last word as the angel blasts him with his sword, turning him into nothing more than a pile of ash and a metallic faceplate for what his face was. All the members of the Ascension are now in full panic mode, with Michi no longer wanting her suit, telling the angel to take it with you. If it can do this, it's too much power. The Seraphim, however, responds, the Omni tool is just that, a tool. In this realm, it could be used for great good or great evil. You have chosen the good. Continue to use it in this way. However, we will remove its portal ability. These gateways should remain closed until the final hour. We have been watching you, Michi Hadaka. You have done well, but it is nothing unless you know him and the one he has sent. The Seraphim then walks right back through the portal to heaven, closing it as he passes through. Michi takes a moment to gather herself from literally just having an encounter with an angel before heading outside of the facility to confront Monarch, telling him that it's over, the portal is closed, Alistair is dead and there's nothing left to fight for. But Monarch was never interested in going to heaven. His agreement with Alistair was to help him find a way to heaven, and Monarch will then have the earth to conquer, crushing a crossbow soldier in his hands as he proclaims, "And I shall begin my conquest here and now." Michi immediately goes into full battle mode, forming hammers and her signature swords as she attacks Monarch, with the two sharing blow after blow at each other. But Monarch is eventually able to restrain her and gets the upper hand in the fight, just like the first battle. But this time around, Michi, still unsure of all that she heard, while also understanding the capabilities of a suit, decides to try something new for the first time, saying, "Alright God, if you're listening, I don't know if the suit has enough juice for this, but..." Michi is a bit startled at what she even just did, with Dalton rushing to her on the battlefield asking if she needs any kind of medical aid, as the crossbowmen contain an unconscious Monarch. She assures him that she is alright, just has a lot of things to think through, especially given the fact that she spoke to an angel. She even plans on probably going to church tomorrow even though it's Thursday. Dalton informs her that the general wants to speak with her, especially to get intel on all that went on. But Michi, clearly out of it, tells him they know how to reach her as she flies off. When Michi gets back to her apartment for the first time in a long time, she takes that bath while eating cookies just as she told Dalton she would do. But as she lays in her bed pondering on all that went on in the past weeks, the best she can ask herself is what just happened. We end off this issue back on the crossbow flying fortress, where Dalton tells the general how his conversation with Michi went, which the general isn't quite fond of as he doesn't like loose ends and has a bunch of questions he needs answered. He'll surely need answers, especially since the lizard man thing has just awakened for the first time since they captured it. So let's put Black Blossom issue 5 on our Christian fiction judgment scale. This issue missed out by being a perfect score 5 out of 5 by 0.25 points because I'll give the story and the my enjoyment category a 4.5 out of 5. Some of the dialogue at certain points, in my opinion, just did not match the tone, I guess is the best way to put it, of what was going on the panel, to the point it was difficult to script this video in a way that flowed pretty well. You may have noticed that I rearranged and skipped over some dialogue during the breakdown. Even though the last issue, issue 4, was dialogue heavy, every speech bubble was really intriguing throughout the entire issue, to the point I felt like skipping it would be doing the comic an injustice, and even got my sister to lend her voice in the Alistair and Michi dialogue section. In this one, it felt really high and low, where some points were like, followed by, okay. I hope those clips help to like explain what I mean. But despite that, I enjoyed the story a lot. An atheist who discovered demons/aliens are real while searching for ways to continue to disprove God, decides to use the knowledge he gets from the demon/alien to start what I would basically call a cult, on a mission to get to heaven without the need for salvation. They eventually open a portal to heaven thinking they struck gold, only to encounter an angel who gives him a fair warning not to pursue any further. He defies, he gets put down. That's the end of the faceless silver-faced man. I genuinely was so surprised to see Alistair got wiped from existence like that. But it strangely felt quite fitting for how the story has been pacing along. Maybe it was because I sort of had the preconceived notion of most Christian media, whether it be shows or movies, resolving around an atheist as a main character, that maybe in the end they will have a change of heart and turn to God. And this comic was like, nope, dude made his choice and suffered the consequences of his actions. Yeah. When it comes to artwork and creativity, it's a 5 out of 5. I really like the art style of this issue along with the story, and I really like the design of the Seraphim. I don't think I need to go over why I rate the creativity aspect of the story so highly, especially since I went on a whole tangent about the concept. Theological basis is a 5 out of 5. Going again on the concept of what basically is a cult opening a portal to heaven, then being confronted by an angel who was on some mess around and find out vibes, that then tells the main character it is nothing unless you know him and the one he has sent, which pretty much ignites her journey to Christ, is absolutely wild and I love it. Often whenever a portal to heaven is opened in fiction, the angels are not powerful enough to stop the intruders, who eventually make their way to the throne room of God and overthrow him because God isn't as powerful as he wants people to think he is, or God may have been like evil or was already overthrown and something else took his throne and this and that and the other. It's a common theme in a lot of modern fiction, especially where the angels need the help of a human to help them fight back against the enemy, etc. Evan David subverted all of that and kept it truly biblical on how angels are portrayed when operating under the sovereignty of God in the Bible. And I have a video upcoming where I'll go deeper on that topic and why I personally don't co-sign the Spectre and other aspect of God-style characters soon. So stay tuned for that. For the final category of my enjoyment and recommendation, as I said earlier, is a 4.5 out of 5. The dialogue just didn't hit the nail on the head as I felt it could have, but I enjoyed this issue a lot. It's probably in my top 10 of Christian fiction that I have covered so far on the channel, with Evan David probably holding 5 out of those 10 slots really and truly. So overall, Black Blossom issue 5 gets a 4.75 out of 5 from the Xplanations. Link to purchase the comic will be in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, then why not consider leaving a like on it and subscribing for more reviews and coverage of comics made by professing believers. If you enjoyed the video to the point you want to check out another one of our videos, then be sure to click the card at the top right hand corner of your screen to check out the other Black Blossom reviews, or click the card to check out my review of a comic I was requested to review, where an archangel embarks on a journey to find the voice of God and save heaven.